Aku Zampo, my name is Nimongmo. I am from Hazongkok. I studied my high school from Dugel Center School, and I took a Bachelor's of Dental Surgery and graduated on November 17, 2020. And recently I published my debut novel, The Imprisoned Mind. When I was in primary school, I used to wait for Friday to come because only on Friday we had library, and I used to rush to library and grab my book, and I made sure I complete that book very night, and next day I went looking for my friends to get the book in exchange, and I used to get their book and read, and that way I developed my reading interest. I have read so many books to list down. I started from Two of a Kind, then I jumped to Goosebumps, then Nicholas Sparks. Nicholas Sparks is an American novelist, and he wrote around 22 novels in total and 2 non-fiction books, and I think I have read almost all his books. And then I switched to Chicken Soups. Chicken Soups is an inspiration story of a real people, their experiences, and it teaches lots of morals and it motivates us. And then I switched to Twilight Saga. Twilight Saga, like all the 5 series, which are the Twilight, the New Moon, the Eclipse, the Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2, Bella Swan, Edward Cullen, and Jacob Black. I have known them through books. It is only later I knew that there was movies on it. During study hours, I used to hide my novel inside my textbook and I used to read. And one day, teacher on duty, he saw and he took my book also. And that same thing happened when I was in college. HOD of that department, he caught me, and next day I had to literally give whole viva on the case history, okay? And this I have mentioned in this book. I have, through my experience and what I have read, I will suggest you all some books. Becoming is a memoir of a former First Lady of United States, Michelle Obama, and another book which is known as I Am Malala. It is an biographical book written by Malala Yousafzai, co-written with Christina Lamb, and it is a story of a girl who stood for education and was shot by Taliban. And another book, which is You Can Win by Chef Kera, it says that winners don't do different things, they do things differently. And recently I have read a book called One Indian Girl by Chetan Bhagat. I firmly believe in women empowerment, and I will read the blurb for you why I like this book. It says, "Hi, I'm Radhika Mehta and I'm getting married this week. I work at Goldman Sachs, an investment bank. Thank you for reading my story. However, let me warn you, you may not like me too much. 1, I make a lot of money. 2, I have an opinion on everything. 3, I have had a boyfriend before. Okay, maybe 2. Now, if I was a guy, you would be okay with all of this. But since I am a girl, these 3 things don't really make me too likable, do they?" I like the way they have portrayed the protagonists. They have shown a very independent woman, and I really like to read books on women empowerment and gender equality. When I was in 2nd standard, I scored 0 in my English test. That time I recently got transferred from my village school to Rimpung Primary School in Paro, and we had given a test, surprise test on past tense and present tense, and I scored 0. I was very embarrassed. But then I realized that maybe I am lacking somewhere. I should do something about it. And that's when I started reading. And when I reached lower secondary school, I met my favorite English teacher, Ma'am Pemongmo. She had really motivated me to become who I am today, I think. She may not be knowing about it, but whatever I did, be it from morning assembly to storytelling, she used to compliment me, and she used to show genuine interest. If she missed the assembly on the day I was supposed to make a morning speech, she would call me next day and I have to repeat the same speech or storytelling, whatever, in front of her. And that way I felt like I'm not that bad. I can do it. I do have some creativity level. It was like a boost of self-esteem for me. I felt like I can do something. I'm good at it. And that is when I started believing in myself. That's why I encourage every parents and teachers not to criticize, look down on students who are weak, because in that stage, the student have a very fragile mind. If we are looked down, if we are criticized, humiliated, we lose confidence in ourselves. And when we lose confidence in ourselves, we are not able to achieve anything. It says no, we become what we think we are. And if we think we are not worthy, then we become that only. And if we think we are worthy, we can do it, then we can really achieve whatever there is in life to achieve. I'm very thankful to whatever bitter experiences I had. If not, I might not have developed interest towards reading. I might not have become a writer today. Writing is not really easy. English being a second language, despite having so much idea, we are not able to play with the word. It is so hard to combine word to word and make it a sentence, and even harder to make it expressive, to portray the idea in such a way that readers will love it. And while writing also, sometimes even a small spelling we have to cross-check, and grammatical mistakes, and to make the word look flowery. It is so hard. What I used to do is, when I'm not able to write or think further, or I used to stop. I used to take a break, and then I get back to it later. And sometimes I have very beautiful ideas. I have all the ideas drafted in my head, but I'm not able to sentence it. So to overcome that, whenever I have ideas, I used to jot it down. It doesn't have to be in a very good way. The structures, I don't care about anything. I write it as it is, because I don't want the ideas to die. And then I take break and I get back to it, and this is a time when I replace words with better words and structure my sentence, make it presentable, make it look expressive and flowery. And in this way, I can keep writing. Sometimes in a day, I can just write a paragraph. And sometimes, despite thinking for the whole day, I don't know how to create the story, how to make the suspense, and to develop the character. This is Yang Chen. She says, everything felt so particularly great as I liberated myself from the prison of my bogus thoughts. I have escaped the hardest prison, my mind. I am open to love again, commit mistakes, learn, be stronger, and start from very beginning once again. To improve my writing, when I was in high school, I had a diary, and every night I used to go to hostel and write whatever I did on that day. And every day I would write, and I used to mention the date, and I have to insert quotes, and I used to collect quotes from various motivation speakers. I used to paste it on my wall. I think being a passionate reader had converted me into a writer today. After reading for so long, I suddenly developed writing interest, and And it didn't start like all of a sudden. Maybe I had that in me, and I discovered later. I used to enjoy writing poems, essays, story writing, and all that. And when I was in primary school, I used to tell my friends, I really want to become a writer. I never wanted to become a dentist back then. I wanted to become a writer. And then my friends used to say, you may not survive as a writer. And I also thought, okay, maybe I won't survive as a writer because our country has a very small platform. And then after that, I thought I should become a dentist. But then I decided to write as my hobby. And I told my friends, I will become a writer, but I can do that side by side. After that, I took a medical course. I took Bachelor's of Dental Surgery, and I got really occupied that I couldn't pursue my dream. And in third year, I thought that if I don't take out time for writing, then I'll never get time. And then that day, I started writing my book. I wrote 2 chapters when I was in third year, but again after that, I got really occupied that I couldn't write further. And after that, I completed my final year. I joined internship, and in internship, I thought of continuing the book. And then pandemic happened, and then I came home, and I was at home, and then my sister-in-law, she went for DESUB training, and I was babysitting my niece and nephew, and that time I got enough time to write. I used to write, and I almost completed. Then I decided to join DESUB. Then I went for a month training, DESUB training, and then I came back, and right after that, first lockdown happened, and I went on lockdown duty. And I used to do duty, and during off hours I used to write, and on that, and then I could complete my book. And after that, I decided to do PE exam and ME exam, so I couldn't complete after that. Or despite having everything ready, I had my manuscript, I have given it to my editor, but I couldn't publish. But later, after giving the exam, I started publishing the book. I started whatever the formalities were required, and then finally I have the book in my hand. It was so hard to come up with a title. The Imprisoned Mind was not the first title. My first title was The Metro Boy, because the lead characters, they meet in the metro. But later I thought that actually I focused on 2 women, Youngjin and Namgye, and I really wanted to give a title. And The Metro Boy wouldn't make a title because it's about a boy and story is about 2 girls. So I thought of this title, The Imprisoned Mind, because in this book I have featured in such a way that at the end, the lead characters, they learn that our mind is like a prison, and where we hold lots of grudges and hatred, and when we learn how to let that go, we cherish every moment in our life. We cherish our past, and we cherish our past and the bitter experiences, and that is when we let ourselves out of the prison, we are able to come in terms with outside world as well as ourselves. I encourage everyone to read this book, not for commercial reasons, but I have strong I had a strong motivation to write this book. I have highlighted on so many topics. I wrote this book with an intention to instill positivity in my readers. Writing needs lots of research. To make this easier, I have made my characters as a medical student, because I don't need much research. I know what subject they study, what kind of classroom they have, what kind of things they enjoy, and what they talk about. So just to make this easier, I have made them as a medical student, and in that way I don't have to research much, but still I had to research on certain topics. So while writing this book also, I'm very thankful that I'm very observant. I learn a lot by observing. I have seen my friends fall in love. I had few crushes when I was in school, but not that dating type. But I know how it feels like. But it was so hard to write. The story begins with a breakup, okay? And I don't know how breakup feels like, because I'm less bothered about these things. And I had to literally ask my friends how it feels like. I googled and I tried to recollect the movies I have watched, how they feel, how vulnerable they feel. Because before I used to think, oh, why people will feel bad if they break up. I don't know why these girls get that kind of feeling that there is no one when one boy leaves them. But then I had to think as a writer, I have to think as a character. I can't put this in my writing. So I had to do lots of research on it, how heartbreaks feel like, the different kind of people who are there. Some are very strong, they can handle it beautifully. Some are very weak, they look for rebound right after a breakup just to move on. So I had to literally get in their shoes to know about them. And I asked lots of friends who had experienced the very harsh, bitter type of breakups, how they felt, how sleepless the nights were, how they expected their partner to treat them, how, like, on every topic I have did lots of research. And I'm thankful. I want to thank all friends who gave feedbacks on it. I think I succeeded in doing that, because a friend of mine was reading book and she said, oh, how could you write this one? You have explained in such a way that as if, is this your true story? Everyone asked me the same one, okay? Last time also I met a friend of mine and he was like, how come you end up writing on breakup thing? I didn't see you experience such things in your life. And I was like, okay, I felt good that, okay, I'm able to display the ideas in such a way that people started thinking that this is real. I'm getting lots of messages from my friends, knowns, asking if the story is about me, if the story is about my first love. It is not, but I tell them that I wish I had a love story like that. I wish someone has told me writing is the easiest part. Publishing is the toughest one. I like stepping in this field for the first time. I was not knowing where to go, what to do, and whom to contact. Okay, that is when I told my brother about my book. I didn't tell anyone that I was writing a book back then when I was actually doing it. And then he called few of his friends and few old writers, and then I knew that I have to look for an editor. I met so many kind people in the journey of being a writer. Then I had to look for a printing house, and even we have to look for the cover designer. That is when I contacted my niece who is studying in SRM Sikkim, and she have a senior. I didn't meet him personally, but he's very kind. He took them and they did photo shoot and he sent me. And when I asked for payment, he said that it is a gift from an artist to artist. So after that, I got my 2 dummy copies finally in my hand. It was almost like the real copy, and nothing feels better than having your book in your hand. So one was for me to read, proofread. Editing a book is very tough job. Despite giving it to editor, despite making lots of people to proofread, there's always some mistakes. And what we need to do is, it is your effort. You have to work hard. You have the willingness to read your book again and again. I think I have read my book more than 20 times because I don't want errors in the final copy. And then one I had to submit to BICMA, and the registration fee is about around 1,500, and they take the book and review. It will take around a week, and after that we are given the certificate of registration and the registration number, and then we have to get ISBN number from Center of Bhutan Studies and GNH. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number, and it's totally up to whether you want the ISBN number or not, but it is always better to have. Either you can submit the hard copy or get it online. There's a form in their website, and BIGMA is very necessary. It is compulsory if you want to commercially distribute your book in Bhutan. And then after that we have to submit ISBN number and registration number to your designer if you have one. If not, you submit to printing house, and then you are good to go. And after that the printing will take around 1 month. But if you want to launch your book before that, you will get few copies, but at an added cost. And when I talk about printing, it is our money. We need, for every work we need money. But I was very lucky being born in a very philanthropic family. Everyone was willing to help. My sister and brother-in-law, they said that they will sponsor the printing, but then I was not willing to depend on them right after I start my career. I wanted to do it myself. So I told that I'll take the money only if they are going to take the money back. But they said, that's okay, we'll sponsor. Then I said, no, then I'm not taking money from you. Then I went to my parents and they gave me money happily. But I told them that I'm going to return the money because I wanted to become a writer and I want to do it all by myself. And then printing, it depends. The cost of the printing depends on the size of your book, the quality of the pages, and pages in the sense the kind of paper you choose, and whether your book has pictures in it or not, whether you want it in black and white or in colors. And in this way, like if you are printing around 2,000 copies and if you have around more than 200 pages, then whole editor charge, everything including that, your investment will be around 2 lakhs. I always wanted to write a book. I used to tell my friend, it's okay even my book does not sell, it's okay even I don't make money, but I really want at least one book written by me in my name. I used to tell my friends. And this time I never thought my debut novel will be loved by so many people. I have received so many feedbacks, and I'm open to both positive and negative feedbacks. It is an opportunity for me to grow, and I'm thankful, be it criticism or compliment. I take both and I analyze, I see from where they are coming, in which field I have to develop, and in this way critics and compliments both are helping me to grow as a writer and to write a better book next time. So this was the journey of becoming a writer, and there are lots of aspiring writers who are messaging me, calling me, asking about the procedures. Hope this was helpful. And now that I have published my first book and I'm getting lots of support from many people, it really motivated me to come up with another book. So I decided to write another book. I have already started working on it. I have finished writing the first page, and as of now the title of the book is The Beauty Weapon. I might change the title later, I always do that, but as of now I kept the title as the Beauty Weapon, and for that I need lots of research. This time it's going to be harder because I need more research, but publishing and marketing will be easier for me because I already have taken the journey and I know how what to do.
This is the leg of your launch of your novel. I'm very proud of you, my dear. I remember Nima as a very bright and a promising student. When she was studying here at Dugal Law Secondary School, She was a school leader, and every junior student used to look upon her as their role model, as she being a girl with integrity and a compassion. I should say she was a very passionate writer, and the impact was she never failed to amaze her audience during the storytelling competition and morning assembly speech. She takes everything as a learning opportunity. Nima, to all the milestones you have overcome and came this far, I'm so proud of you for your accomplishments. Wishing you all the best in your future endeavor.
Kuzlangpula, my name is Kunzis and I'm from India. Nima is my friend and she was my roommate when we were in college. Nima is a very good friend and she is a very hardworking girl. She is good in studies, in sports, and in everything. She told me once about her dream to write a novel, and finally her dream came true, and I'm so happy for her. I have read first 2 chapters of the novel and it is very interesting. I hope she will write good novel in the future, and wishing you a good luck. Thank you.